Hi, good morning. This is Shrikant. Welcome back to my channel. In last few sessions, we have seen how quickly we can design and develop leave management system. We have started with the table creation, then we started building up a CDT, constant interface, process model, and we ended up designing the site. In today's class, I would like to add more validation. I would like to add more functionality. I have listed on a few of them here. My first requirement is I wanted to auto populate name and user ID. What it means is I don't want user to enter name and user ID. It has to populate based upon the logged in user session. Second requirement is all about user cannot select Saturday or Sunday as their start date or return to office date. So it has to be the start date and end date is applicable only for the weekdays. One cannot say that they are planning to take leave starting Saturday or Sunday, and they cannot say that they are planning to return to office on Saturday or Sunday. That's all about the second requirement. And the third requirement is leave can be applied for maximum 5 days. So one can apply leave maximum 5 days. So if they apply on Monday, they can go up to all the way up to Friday. They cannot go beyond that particular week. Or if they are planning to apply leave on Friday, so they can go up to next week up until Thursday. So the maximum number of leaves one can apply here, no matter whether they're applying for sick leave or vacation or the floating or the flex, they can go up to max 5 days in a stretch. So next requirement is all about sick leave does not require manager approval. As soon as someone applies sick leave, it has to get approved automatically. Other than sick leave, all other leave should go to manager for their approval. So let's get started with the first requirement, name and user ID to be auto-populated. So go back to your interface and locate the field name, and we do have ID as well. This is the user ID. So this field we need to auto populate. So in order to do that, what we can do is um, we can define a local user ID, and we can assign something like this. If a rule input is null or empty, and a rule input nic leave summary dot user id, in case if it is a null or empty, then I wanted to populate logged in user. Otherwise, pass the rule input value. Next, I need to assign this user ID local.user ID. I need to pass it to user ID text box. So I'm going to replace value local dot user ID. We will test this automatically. I'm going to delete this. So test user ID is populated automatically. Is going to populate user ID. I'm expecting to be populated automatically. It's populated, and this comes from here actually. If you go to profile, it is reading the value from here, this profile. So you can check edit profile. This is the user ID. It is reading from here, and I need to populate this name back to my interface. To do that, I will create another local variable. This time I'm going to call it as local bank user first name or username. Again, I will apply the same logic. So here, instead of user ID, I will call this name. If it's a blank or null, instead of passing logged in user here, I need to call a function called user, and I will pass local bank user ID. Then I will pass the property first name, and we can call this username from name text box. Go to column layout, first column, name, replace this with local bank username. I'm going to change the property name here. It is a case sensitive, so I'm going to replace with the first name here. Okay. Next, we have to pass the username to this rule input as well as the user ID to rule input. So I will go back to save into properties of the button, that's here. I will add over here. Okay, so here a bank Save, rule input, NIC leave summary, name, comma, local bank username. Similarly, we have to do this for user ID as well. Okay, with that, we are good to test now. We can test locally. So my name and user ID is populated, and this particular leave summary CDT is blank. So I'm going to select the start date 15th August, ending on 17th August. I'm returning to office on 17th. That means I'm going to take leave on 15th and 16th. This is going to be sick leave, and I'm going to apply. Okay, now user ID is populated correctly, name is populated correctly, and leave start date, return to office, leave applied date, leave status is pending approval, and it's going to be sick. So this part looks good. Now we will go back to our requirement, and we will do the second changes. Now we will work on the second requirement, that is user should not be allowed to select Saturday or Sunday as their leave start date or return to office date. Now I'm going to add a validation here. I will use if condition. Say if is not null or empty, this field. If it is not null, then I will use another if condition. If, and I'm going to call a function, call is workday, and this expects date field as input. In case if it is a true, that means on the weekdays. So I'm not going to make any changes. I'm not going to display any error message. Otherwise, I will display error message saying that please select weekdays. Weekends are not allowed. Next, we have to copy this line of code to return to office date as well. So I'll go to return to office date field, and add this lines of code. Only thing is I need to replace with the return to office date and return to office date. And this we have to end with the comma. No error. We will test our functionality. I'm going to select weekends 20th. I get an error message. I'm going to select Sunday, that is 14th August. I get error message. If I select 10th August, that is weekdays, no error message. Similarly, I can test this. I'm going to select Sunday. I get error message. I'm going to select 19th, that is Friday. I don't get the error message. If I select Saturday, I get a error message. So my validation works fine. We have successfully implemented a functionality number 1 and 2. In my next video, I'm going to cover remaining scenarios. That's all for today. Thank you very much, and you have a great day. Bye.